Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ears to the East, where we're just going to have a little bit of a chat, actually, because the three of us all experienced something quite interesting and yet different, but within the same context. So over the last few days, I, in Japan, went to the BAND MAID end of tour 10th anniversary final at Yokohama Arena. Posted a video about that on my channel, but we're going to be talking about that alongside the fact that these two fine gentlemen have actually seen BABYMETAL in the last couple of days. Now, I believe you went to different gigs, right?
We did, yeah.
Right,
As much
where you went to.
yeah, as much as Benedict kept messaging me, asking me to come stay at his. Don't know why. No, it was two different gigs. So I saw the
fine quality of conversation, I'm sure.
I know. So yeah, he kept saying something about bringing hand moisturizer. I don't know what.
But I've seen some photographs from these BABYMETAL shows, and I was surprised actually. They were quite compact, quite small shows. You know,
I think that was intentional. Like, I was actually really surprised they picked for London. Obviously we've got a couple of different venues, but I was really surprised they picked the Roundhouse instead of the
you're Roundhouse.
Yeah, instead of like the O2 Arena or something like that. I've never been to Roundhouse as well, so this was my awesome. first time there. So I can chuck that off the bucket list because I've been meaning to go there anyway.
I mean, it is, as the name suggests, it's a large
roundhouse,
old building.
Yeah. There's a lot of famous people that played there, like over the last 30 odd years or something like that. It's very famous.
Yari Pammy being one of them.
But it was actually a bit smaller than I was expecting it to be.
Do you know how many people fit in that venue?
3,500 it was. Like, somebody told me that was the capacity.
I'm gonna check now while you do that.
Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. I'm gonna take them at their word, but somebody told me it was 3,500.
Because I just checked, and the venue I went to, it's like a little under 6K.
Damn, so yours was bigger than mine.
Yeah. I think quite a lot bigger. I mean, the videos I saw were from a couple of friends on my Discord who were at one of the London shows. Didn't look like the Roundhouse might have been. Yeah, it says here that the capacity, I believe, is 1,800 standing, 1,500 seated at the Roundhouse.
Yeah, so we're about right.
Yeah. 3,300, yeah. But you were a 6,000 capacity venue.
Well,
so where was
what it says here when I Google it, but like the maximum, I'm not sure how many they actually allowed in.
So where did you see them?
It's called Zenit in Munich.
There we go.
Former what is it called? Construction hall.
Nice.
What is a construction hall? Is that a hall where you construct the hall, or is that no,
I think a hall where things get constructed, like
like a factory, like a
production hall. That's what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay. So I'm imagining like a disused factory, or in other words, like the warehouses where like 90% of Japanese low budget music videos are recorded. So you start off when you're poor, you find a nearby rooftop to film your music video on. When you get a little bit richer, you hire out one of those empty warehouses, and then when you got the real Japanese money, that's when you go to Shibuya Crossing and put your name on being the 10 millionth band to do a video on Shibuya Crossing.
That's when you get the round thing with the camera on the.
That's when you get artsy. You got to get up to that level eventually.
Yeah. Only when you're raking it in can you afford some slight special effects in your music video.
So I think because obviously you guys both saw BABYMETAL, I saw BAND MAID. I guess one of the things that really I want to sort of drive home first of all is obviously the fact that these are both examples of bands who have a lot of overseas fandom. So like, how did you feel about the contingency of overseas fans, sort of people responding to it? What was the the general vibe like at the venue?
I'll let Benedict go first for this one.
I mean, I did a video on my channel as well, if you want to check it out. I thought it was pretty amazing. Like I would expect from a BABYMETAL show, even in Japan.
Why specifically from a BABYMETAL show? I mean, because I know there's a really rabid fan base for BABYMETAL.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the energy. I mentioned it also in my video. I think I've never attended a concert where the whole crowd was like so attentive and so like yeah, like the participation of the crowd, it's unmatched in what I've seen so far.
So did it seem like sort of majority, like it was like a gathering of like majority were like hardcore fans? Was it something where you felt there was a lot of newbies in there as well, or was it mostly like
I mean, it's a BABYMETAL show, so I would assume most of them are fans.
Hey, you're talking to someone who's not actually been to a BABYMETAL show yet. All right, sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
do
a
you not
concert, it's
know
a
this?
BABYMETAL show, so they had one pre-band. You will go there for BABYMETAL, I assume.
Well, you say that. I mean, like at the BAND-MAID show, even though it was like, you know, sort of this big thing, you know, 10th anniversary and, you know, sort of the end of their 10th anniversary tour, and at this like venue they've been talking about for years, halfway through the show, they were like, how many people are here for the first time? And there was quite a lot of people putting their hands up. And when I was interviewing people outside the show, I was like, oh, you know, I've been to see BAND-MAID before. And they were like, oh, it's like my second time. You know, loads of people were saying that. So I think depends, you know, some bands are, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if they were hardcore fans, but one thing I actually wanted to ask Neon, because what I found interesting about the crowd itself, that there were like
I'll do something where you do that.
all kinds of ages there, like very young people, very old people. No offense.
No, I feel like that's the beauty.
And like really the typical metalheads and people that just look regular.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difference, I think, between most metal gigs that we probably go to and BABYMETAL, is the crowd is definitely so much diverse. I mean, you were saying older, but I also saw younger as well, dads with their daughters and stuff like that, in the mosh pit and stuff, you know, the daughter having the time of her life, the dad's like, trying
to time of the life for the dad.
The dad's like, for fuck's sake, why am I doing this? You know, trying to protect like the kids. There's and then you see all sorts. You see like really old people, men, women. Yeah, it is really, really diverse. All ages, all countries, all ethnicities. It's
it's like that everywhere.
Really unique.
So, I mean, what would you say, obviously just taking a rough guess from what you saw, what was like roughly the male-female proportion? Because I think a lot of people are under the impression with people who don't know are under the impression with like groups like BAND MAID and BABYMETAL that you go there and it's just going to be like all a bunch of guys in their mid-30s and 40s. And I don't think that's really representative of what you actually see when you're there. So, I mean, what kind of proportion male to female do you think there was at the show?
I'd probably say about 60 to 40 being male. So there was definitely more women there than anybody probably suggests.
More women.
More girls, women, ladies, whatever you would like to call them.
So more women, you were saying there's more women than were expected, not more women total, right?
Like 60% male.
Yeah, 60%. Yeah, 60% male. 40, okay. Sorry, if I didn't make that clear,
just to clear that up.
60% male, 40% women. There was definitely more women there that I think is expected, especially like Howard said. I think a lot of people, the first thing they go to is, oh, BABYMETAL's for old men. I hate that trope. Yeah. Like, I detest it. But no, it was surprisingly even. But there definitely was more male than female, but there was a lot of females there.
Yeah, I think kind of the same for me. I mean, it's hard to tell. You can only see the people around you. So, but yeah, kind of the same. Slightly more male people, but a lot of females.
There was a lot of females there. So, all right, guys. Yeah.
Then we went to the after party and they all disappeared, and it was only men.
Don't worry.
There was also a guy dressed in a maid costume, so. Not sure where you categorize that.
I mean, like at the BAND MAID show, I think it was probably, I mean, if I was to draw a conclusion, I'd probably say it was about 75% male. I'd say it was majority male over female, which is, I've always kind of said with this sort of thing, I do think there is a proportion where obviously we know female bands are going to proportionally be of disproportionate interest to male audiences in the way that male bands might have a disproportionate interest to female audiences. It doesn't mean necessarily that'll sway the overall totals, but there's obviously always going to be some people who like the aesthetic side as well. But I think also it is true to say that the larger number of people who go to rock gigs as a general, you're starting from a baseline where it is usually more of a thing where you see men anyway. So I think there is always going to be probably a baseline larger number of men at these shows than women. But it is interesting that even when you take that into consideration, or especially when you take that into consideration, it's actually quite even. Like, there's a lot of women there. When I did the interviews, there was a lot of women around. I spoke to a couple of women who were like, one of them was cosplaying in a maid's outfit, and she was really lovely. And the other one I saw at the Shinjuku show as well, and she immediately recognized me, although I am kind of obvious. And she really recognized me.
That's the difference right there, isn't it? Like, Howard gets like hot Asian ladies dressed up as maids, and we get like, middle-aged men dressed up as maids.
Yes, exactly.
Damn. I know what gig I'd rather be. Yeah.
Actually, just while you're talking, though, was something I was looking for, and I've just remembered where it is. I'm just going to go grab it because this is going to be nice and confusing. I'll be right back.
I think for like talking about obviously the men and the women, I think music is always going to be more male centric, just because I feel like women's interests lie elsewhere. I kind of put it like the same terms as like football a little bit, where like
Yeah.
for male football, obviously the guys are really into it, some women are into it, but it's predominantly a male focused thing.
Yeah.
And then for women football, there are a lot of men that like it, a lot of women that like it, but it's still sort of 50-50. There's a lot of women that don't like women's football. I feel like that's the same for music a little bit. Like, I feel like most men like male fronted bands and female fronted bands, but when it comes to a full female fronted band, most men will like it, and I feel like the women numbers dwindle a little bit. I do feel like BABYMETAL's the oddity.
Do you think? Because I think it even might be the opposite. Because if I think about the Sabaton show, which is a purely male group, and I think it's probably like 80-90% male.
80-90%.
Actually,
male.
I think
So
actually,
significantly higher male
yeah
proportion than in the BABYMETAL show.
I actually think Benedict's got an interesting point in that even though I would probably expect like a female group to naturally have more male fans, I think when it comes to a gig, actually, yeah, female fans might be more.
I think
like,
it might even balance it out.
Well, I think female fans might want to go to a female band show more because, in a way, when you go to a show, you're very much connecting with the artist, and I think that a lot of the time there's more of a sense of female audiences can relate to female artists. So actually, I think that's probably a fair point. I mean, there's probably, if you go into a band who are a group of like middle-aged hairy men with big beards, it's probably going to have a very testosterone-y sort of vibe that might not necessarily have that much of a deep meaning to a female audience. Whereas if they're going to see like a female-led group, there could actually be more of a sense of that's interesting. Actually,
I'd be very interested to know that. If you're a lovely lady and you're watching this, by the way, let us know in the comments down below. Like, does the like, if it's a male fronted band or a female fronted band or whatever, does that affect your decision to go to a band? Do you feel more comfortable, with some bands than others because of the audience maybe, or who you're with, or do you need a partner? I'd be very interested to see that and how that affects.
Maybe have a little think about it as well, and I'd be really interested to know if female fans, you might not have thought about this, but really think about that. Actually, maybe is there some subconscious level on which you actually feel like more happy at a certain time? Anyway, I'll quickly show this to you because I saw, as you know, I saw BAND MAID and you saw BABYMETAL, so I'd just like to show you my new shirt. So now let me just be. Here we go. He's got the same one, isn't he? No, I thought he was going to grab the same one.
I have a different one.
Big thank you to Jeff from my channel who came to see me just before.
That was the one. That was the shirt I wanted. It was it was £40 though. I didn't have the cash to get myself some merch this time, but that was the shirt I wanted.
So I've got to give like big love to Jeff for coming, and actually Jeff brought me this hat as well last time he was here. This time he brought me the BABYMETAL shirt. So Jeff is like my merch man, and I really appreciate that. I thought I had to show that, even though I wasn't at the show. I had to show that because I thought that was A lovely
It's
touch.
cheating.
I'm sure that'll come up in some other videos. Yes, it was cheating. It was cheating. And that's what we YouTubers do. We can't afford stuff ourselves, but we know lovely people in our community.
I know, I've just posted my Baby Metal vlog video, which is like almost half an hour long, and I uploaded it, and within like 2 seconds, Baby Metal claimed it. I was like, "You fuckers! You couldn't just let me have one video to earn some money." I'm like,
are you saying you were doing it for the money and not the love?
I know. I know. I was doing it for like at least 50p, man. I need to eat.
So all I wanted was a Freddo.
I can't even afford a Freddo at the minute. They're like almost £1. Ridiculous.
Hey, actually, you grew up in Germany. Is there something equivalent to a Freddo in Germany?
No, but you know what? I always used to love going to the bakeries at shops and getting an Americano. I fucking love that.
But we have a lot of bakeries in Germany.
Yeah,
we just don't have like the one big
Americano is like
little private bakeries.
It's like a sweet cake, and it's just round with white.
Oh, it's a dish.
Yeah, and it's just really nice. So yeah, it's called an Americano cake, which is really nice.
There you go. We learned something. So I mean, I would. So I don't know how long we got left on the Zoom before it times out again. So I will just quickly sort of run back to the show thing. So when you're at the show, and eating your Americanos, was there anything like about like the whole show that really hit you? Because I always think with Baby Metal, I'm always thinking about like massive stage show. You know, that's what I think about when I think about Baby Metal. But obviously, we talk about in smaller venues, overseas. What was the stage show like? What was the actual like spectacle like for you guys?
I thought you know what? I thought it was okay, to be honest. It was a little bit more like from my show anyway. I can't say about Benedict's, but it was a bit more scaled back than it usually is. They had the screen and and some of the members of the Cami band in front, but it was
at least Cami band with that.
Yeah, it was just a little. I don't know. It was fine. I remember watching them in 2018 when Metal Galaxy came out, and the screen just seemed. I don't know. Maybe it was because the first time I saw them, but it just seemed to pop a little bit more than it did this time. But what I did notice a lot, and I said this in my video, is the girls seem to have like a lot more fun. There was like so much smiling and giggling and backwards and forwards, which is really, really nice because I've become so accustomed to them being more scripted than most bands. Most bands can do what they want, and Baby Metal stick to a certain plan as it was, and they don't really deviate from it. But there was much more personality oozing from the girls, I feel like, for this gig. They seem to be having fun and interacting a little bit more with the audience, which I really, really liked, because there's been too many gigs where they're, in the moment, they're in their Sue Metal face and stuff like you see on DVDs and stuff, and they don't quite go out of character. And I saw a lot more of them coming out of character and smiling and talking to people and stuff like that. And it's still pre-planned, it's still rehearsed and giving it to you that way, but it just felt more real this time around. I think
it was a bit more. It sounds like it was more tangible, and because we were talking the other day about how the show is such a thing with Baby Metal, but I think as well when you're so familiar with the show, there's a nice aspect to just like seeing them and going, oh shit, there they are, like sort of 5 meters in front of me. It's like, oh my god, it's like it's very real. It's like, whoa, okay. Yeah, I really sympathize with that point. I'm very jealous. This is one of the things people always say, oh, how did you live in Japan? You're so lucky. I'm very jealous a lot of the time when I see like gigs that you guys go to. Like, people who go like to BAND-MAID shows this year and they're like standing right there. It's like you could reach out and steal Misa's guitar from there. It's like, dude, I couldn't get within like freaking restraining order distance of them.
We don't have these huge epic shows that you have in Japan.
Yeah, but that's the trade-off.
I think that is fair. And when it comes to like the Yokohama Arena thing, obviously I wanted to see the spectacle because it's such an important show. But it's interesting, like outside of that, I think I would prefer to be at one of those shows where I could just be right up at the front. I mean, I always used to go to large venues when I was younger, and I still occasionally go to them. They're usually very expensive. But the thing is that I've become much more familiar with going to like Tokyo live houses now, and I love it. I love that whole thing where it's like easy. You get up to the front, you're just there, and you just kind of watch the band. It's just like it feels like it's you and them. Of course, if you're watching back a broadcast, I've been playing the wonderful trick of interviewing bands in person and actually getting like private gigs basically from them. Yes, that was seriously the best thing ever, was having a show from Iris Mondo. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to hold this camera and I'm going to stick it in your face. And I'm basically standing holding a camera right at Kurumi's face while she's performing the song just for me. I'm like, I feel special.
Shameless plug that.
I agree with everything Neon said. It was the same for the Munich show. For me, the highlight was, like Neon said, the energy and atmosphere just from the whole concert. And also, like Neon said, they seemed really, really happy and really enjoying themselves. And that really, the atmosphere, how should you say, it spreads throughout the whole audience. And that's really important, I feel, for a show, because I've seen a lot of shows where, the artist was like, I have to play my 40 minutes and I'm happy once it's done. So, and you really feel that during the show, you're like, okay.
It's a day job for you, isn't it?
Have some fun, man.
Yeah, it's like, we are paying you for the songs, but we're paying you for the experience of like enjoying it. If you don't look like you're enjoying it, then it's not really the same. I know what you mean.
I even loved it, even though I wasn't at the very front. I was like, I don't know, in the middle of the hall somewhere. So kind of had difficulties sometimes seeing the stage, even because a lot of tall guys and everyone having their hands up and stuff. But still, I really loved it. And I think they used the screen really well. Oftentimes they blended like the audience and the band together on the screen, so you kind of could see their face and okay, I'm kind of there in the area somewhere. So you kind of can see them, even though you cannot see the stage clearly. And also I have to say, I really dig their outfits, because they are always like so sparkly.
Well, they're much shinier now, aren't
get
they?
to look at the stage.
I said that in my
but they really change depending on how they light the stage.
Okay, just before Neon makes his point, I think we've made it very. I want to point out to everyone, we've all posted videos about these subjects. So if you want to see Benedict's experience, that's on his channel, Reactomat. If you want to see me interviewing a bunch of artists, then it's on Back a Broadcast. And of course, Neon has just before we recorded this, so probably a couple of days before you see this, posted his video about his half-hour video about his show. So anyway, Neon, just continue. I thought I'd just round that up and point out for anyone who's skipping through. Yes, we are all promoting our videos through Ears to These. This is just basically our little CM space.
I've forgotten what I wanted to say now.
The power of Back a Broadcast. About the outfits, Neil.
Oh yeah, the outfits. Yeah, I said this with the Sabaton one. It's like you see these outfits and you see them on the live videos and stuff, but the live videos really don't do them justice. When you're there and you see them, they are when the lights really hit them, they are magnificent. They when these outfits came out, I remember a lot of people going, "Oh, they look all right. They look a bit flimsy," but when you see them in action on the stage, they are really nice. They are probably one of my favorite, actually. I do really enjoy them.
Mine too.
I will say that I noticed that a lot of people were really, as happens every time this occurs, everyone was really excited about the new Band Maid outfits where they changed the dresses and everything. And halfway through the show, there was a bit where like Miku and Saiki just start talking about the outfits, and they just like start showing off each member, and each member just turns around and shows their outfits. And this goes on for about 5 minutes.
Just recently changed it for this show.
For this show, yeah. And I remember, unless I missed something in the last few shows, I believe it was for this show they changed it. But I remember like when I was watching that and Miku and Saiki were having this conversation, I was like looking around, I was like, this room is like 75% full of men. And they're all hanging on every word as two women talk about their latest dress update. So I was like, that is the power of music. All right. It's like most girlfriends would die for that power over it's two women. So and now we're going to bring on Akane. She's going to do a catwalk down the middle, shine off her new outfit. And everyone's like, oh. You're like, yes, that is what music gets you.
I know.
I was like, yeah, that's real power. And it's actually, now you come to mention it, BABYMETAL, it's the same thing. BABYMETAL have changed the color of their outfits, and like all the guys are they're like, yep, power of music.
It's like there's like BABYMETAL do so many good things though. Like say what you want about Cobra and like his
I will
merchandise and promoting and stuff like that. But the guy knows how to like trickle like little things out which send the fan base just searching for clues and things about the slight changes in dresses and stuff like that. Like the guy's a genius. He knows exactly what he's doing to send all the hardcore nuts into a nerd rage.
So you should change your channel name to Nerd Rage.
Nerd Rage. It's not too bad, that actually.
I love that. That's very
Probably exists.
So I pulled back.
Yeah. BABYMETAL have new sparkly dresses, and I love it. Nerd Rage.
This week on Nerd Rage. Oh,
Great.
he's getting a nerd on. Anyway,
Ooh, is that what we're calling it now?
oh dear, yeah, it's like just like this sudden like excitement that people feel over any little bit of news. But you know, I actually really, again, I like that, because when it's within context, when it's just a fandom thing, there's something really nice about the fact that, like I say, you change a few dresses and a bunch of guys are like really excited about it. It's nice because everyone feels involved. You make a little change to the show and everyone feels involved. Like, oh, it's been updated. It's part, all part of a family. And I was saying in my video on my channel that there is a feeling.
Like and subscribe.
Remember to like and subscribe. Ding, ding. I'm not doing a graphics kind of so it's just I think that there's that feeling that everyone feels like they're part of a family. So with those little changes, although they might seem quite nerdy, they're actually, it's just everyone feels involved. Like, oh, this is a thing we're all part of, and there's been an update.
Yeah. To be fair,
so it's kind of sweet.
We're taking the piss, but I'll be the first person to admit I'm one of those people that go fucking full on hard with the lore and stuff. When they change something and it's all updated, I'm like, I proper fucking geek out. I'm like, ooh.
But that's why the reason why we're taking the piss, and I think anyone who actually isn't being a deliberate edgelord knows the reason we're taking the piss is
because we're taking the piss out of ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I just realized I didn't even realize I can do this. Oh, look at that. Is that holy shit? But actually, I should just put my shirts up here. This is like so much easier than printing out photographs. Oh
there
my
you
God.
Go. Put your shirts up. There you go. Next,
I am
to
here
the
to
east.
talk about BAND MAID, so unfortunately that's got to come back now.
Yeah, so tell us about your BAND MAID gig. We've been talking about BAND
Yeah.
MAID. Tell us a little bit more about that and the experience and how that was for you.
Maybe it's because I now have a paranoia about waffling on these videos. Not that it's going to stop me. I feel like I've already been talking too much, but okay. So as you can find out by watching the video on my channel, remember to like and subscribe. I'll
do the animation for you.
Got to air right subscribe now.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, so I've been to now 3 BAND MAID shows. Oh, what a bass fan. But it was really interesting because for me, obviously seeing all the stuff of them performing in America. You've seen I was talking to a lot of people outside the show. I've got quite a lot of interviews, and as came up in a lot of the interviews, there's people who've seen them like 8, 9, 10 times. I'm like, oh, when did you become a fan? And they were like, March. It was like, when did you become a fan? Oh, 2021. I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually now one of the OG fans, and I still feel like a newbie. I really do. I mean, so it's kind of interesting. It's like, oh, actually, yeah, I guess I've been a fan for half the time they've been around, half of the 10 years they're celebrating. I've been one of their fans. So it's like, it suddenly kind of hits you that it's like, okay, that's where this is. But it was interesting because there is this, and this might also be as much a Japan thing as a BAND MAID thing, but I think it's both. There's this overwhelming sense of real community. And I always said that, and I'm not pointing fingers, but there are some bands who we can all name who do this, where there's a kind of a competitive fandom. It's like someone's always got to be the #1 fan. It's like, oh, I liked them before you did. Blah, 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 blah. there's none of that with Band Maid. I mean, there's going to be some people, but you're certain they're not the people who I'm seeing at the shows, and they're certainly not the ones who are hanging out in the community fan groups, because they would not get on with these people. Everyone's super nice. Everyone's got a bit of merchandise. Everyone's chatting about it. They're chatting about their favorite songs. It's just so lovely, and people are giving out. I mean, like I said, I've pointed this out before. I mean, this free of charge, beautifully 3D printed character models of the members. I mean, I've got loads more stuff, but this is just stuff from the show that I went to the other day. Like, people were giving me, we got like this was made
that's
by
like from an attendee of the concert.
Yeah, just outside. And these are not all from the same people. These are from different people. Someone else gave me this. Is really cool. Like we got these are really nice. Someone's made like little tour artwork with the members and all of the venues on there.
Like Neon, why didn't we get any free stuff at
I did.
show?
I did. I'm
What?
gonna show you some stuff now.
I will actually quickly show as well. This is my favorite one. So there's a guy who I followed him on Twitter. I think a lot of people follow him on Twitter, and he does like a lot of hand-drawn art. And he just had so many hand-drawn pictures just there to give out. Each one was different. And he was like, "Oh, do you want one?" I was like, "Well, yeah, of course, that's lovely." And I was like, "Oh, I'm a bit of an Akane fan," and just he just pulls this out, and this is a hand-drawn original like Akane with an onigiri,
nice.
And it's just like, there you go, and like that's and they had stuff like this from the previous shows. The fandom is so just lovely. I mean, when I wanted the ticket, I had trouble getting the ticket. It was another fan. I told him that I've got trouble getting a ticket. He's a friend of mine, admittedly. But he got me the ticket, and he's like, "Just give me the money, we get to the show." And he's been holding on to this for me for like a couple of months. It's the way that the fandom operates that's really lovely. But I will, as we're starting to get towards the end of this one, as Neon's looking for something, I'm going to quickly grab something as well from the show. I've shown this on my live stream, but I want to show it again for people on Ears to the East.
I haven't managed to get everything. I just got what I could at the minute, like within like grabbing distance of my desk. But I got that. These are things that I got from people at the show.
Oh, that's cool.
What
is that, like a card?
It is. It's like a card, BABYMETAL card. Yeah. So I got that one, which is
like a wallet card. Is it like a sort of laminated plastic type one?
Yeah, I got this one from Twilix, which is really, really cool. I don't know if it will show well on the camera, but they got little faces of Sue.
Yeah, I thought so.
What is that? Is that like
they're sweets? Yeah, they're sweets, but I don't know if my camera is going to pick it up. But they got pictures of Sue on the candy, which I think is really, really cool. Like, everybody's
bad eating it. I'll be like,
I can't bring myself to eat it. Like, they're gonna constantly be on the side. I don't think.
Can you bring yourself to let them rot? That's the concern. You got to eat them eventually.
I got some other stuff which was really cool. I apologize, but it's been in my pocket, which I apologize. But I got some like pictures and postcards of
I'm jealous
of the girls.
That's really lovely.
The song lists and stuff like that.
That's really nice.
And I also got some other stuff, just from other bands or just other Asian acts. I got a Bish sticker.
Yeah. Holy shit! You've got a Bish sticker at a band. Well, Bish were performing they had the Bish show in London recently, which I would. That's a venue that I've like done like sort of gigs at so many times before.
I got
worked on gigs there.
And at the end one.
The whole like.
And I got more.
Oh man, Benedict, I'm so sorry. Yeah, sorry, Benedict.
Yeah, I'm kind of speechless. They're
I got more stickers.
I think I never got any free stuff at any concert. They're just private people standing around giving that out.
If you these are all people that I
from
knew.
The show.
They were just.
I am going to add really, one more if you're okay. I'll add one more. So this was at the end of the show. Like, so I showed this on my live stream. So apologies, you've already seen this, but I wanted to show this again. So because it was the 10th anniversary thing, when it ended with just like a big explosion and confetti streamers fly in the air. And at first I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. And then because it's a massive hall, there's like a pause, the confetti flies. And then just somewhere halfway through it, my brain switches from like, wow, this is beautiful to YouTuber. And because you're not allowed to film in this venue, I should point out, except for one song where they let people film. And as it comes down, I look up at it and I'm like, bet this isn't normal confetti. I bet they've printed on it. And as it came down, I started to realize they have printed on it. Now, I was right by the aisle in a big venue, so I just sort of made myself wide, and I collected a lot of this sparkly, beautiful confetti. But I'll give you a quick look, because this is incredible. So, like, there just must have been kilograms of this stuff raining down. But yeah, it's Band Maid 10th
Okay, that is pretty
anniversary.
cool.
That is
Tour
cool.
final in Yokohama Arena, and the date. And these were just raining down from the sky. So I got a bunch of these. So for Christmas, I don't usually celebrate Christmas. I ain't even got a tree.
Yeah.
But I'm putting this shit up everywhere. I'm like,
Just hang it up everywhere, yeah.
the day that Miku was born in a manger or a pigeon nest somewhere. So yeah. Band Maid, baby. Oh no, it didn't work.
Take two.
Band Maid.
Nice.
Band Maid. Yes.
Like I said, I think we've had, so all of us have had some great experiences. I don't know what is up in your area right now, Howard, but I'm sure there'll be some other gigs for pretty much soon. I'm hoping. I mean, I got so
many artists.
Yeah, I got Rolling Quartz in January that I'm maybe going to see. So I'm going to try and grab a ticket for that. It depends on how much Christmas costs. To be honest,
Neon next year, Rockin' Park.
Yeah,
BABYMETAL, Hanabi.
Yeah, I know. Down.
Then you can both rub it in my face when you do that.
I mean, I'm kind of keeping my options open as well, because, like, I want Band Maid or Love Bites to be in Europe. I got a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be this year, but we hear something. Maybe not from Band Maid, because I don't quite know what they're doing, but I'm hoping it'll be 2024. But Love Bites, man, I am. Please, for the love of God, just need Love Bites touring.
Yes, please.
2024. It needs to happen. It's been way too long.
I'm not done. This is
They
at
just
least
need to do
satisfactory.
a festival with only Japanese bands
Only Japanese
overseas.
acts.
Rocking my bling. I'm happy with that.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Well, like I said, me and Howard touched on this on a prior video. We said for download there was like 3 Japanese bands there, which is relatively unheard of. You always get like one, but to have BABYMETAL, Hanabiya, and Crystal Lake, was it?
Yes, you remember.
Oh yeah.
There, all in one show. It was kind of like a little bit of an oddity.
With Bowling for Soup.
With Bowling for
Maybe
Soup.
that just shows that Japanese music is getting more and more popular.
I think so. I think it's becoming a little bit more mainstream, which is really, really good. And I think BABYMETAL's a large part of that. I think they really pushed it out and made it more accessible.
Of course.
They were the most meteoric step in that process. Regardless of where things may or may not be going, or what happened before them, they were definitely one of the most meteoric steps in that process. Anyway, I think we've got a minute left, so I guess we'll wrap this one up and get ready for our next video, which we're going to record, and you guys are going to see whenever we post it.
Meteoric step, I like that.
My beautiful word, nearly as good as my bling. So remember, people, to keep your ears and your bling to the